Hi everybody, I'm Kirsty Meakin from Nao Nails. In this video we are going to do some Nike inspired nails because I've got new Nikes. So, I can't put them on the table, it's bad luck, so I have to put my hands here. These are not any old Nikes, no. These are like from Back to the Future, I think. I saw them and I was like, oh my god, they are mega, I've got to have them. They've got a really thick, padded, kind of like skater shoe tongue. I do have a slight obsession with trainers. These are the Nike Air Force Utility QS, which means quick streak, and I think it's because of this mechanism here. Look at that. Let me show you again. Who needs laces when you've got one of that? I love it. So yeah, you pull this to tighten everything, so the strap sort of loops through like that. There's one thing I didn't know about these when I bought them. I just bought them because I absolutely loved them and I thought they looked really cool. I like how they've got that sort of muted Nike swoosh. It's not like dead branded. The only thing that is really, I think, is this, but I absolutely love it. I love the leather and I love these little straps. So if I go skating, I can actually clip them together and I'll never lose one pair. Well, one of them, not one pair. I could lose the pair. That would
yeah,
be.
You could lose the pair.
Yeah, but hopefully not. Yeah, so the thing that I didn't know about these when I bought them was, and you know what? It was Cassidy. Cassidy said, that sole, Mum, does that like flash when you walk? And I was like, no, babe, that won't be flashing when I walk. However, I had a little Google because I got them at a bargain price. They were only £40. And we've seen them for £177. And the cheapest I've seen them online for was about £80, I think it was. But when I Googled, I found out this amazing thing about these soles. These gum soles are actually glow in the dark. Oh my god. I was like, I love these even more because they have glow in the dark soles. I don't know if that would ever come in handy because I don't really walk around in the dark. However, it just made me love them even more. And yeah, so due to my obsession with definitely Air Force, because I've got lots of them, Nike Air Forces, we will do a set of nails inspired by my beautiful new trainers. So this set previously had the coffee kind of thing that we did, the bubbly coffee thing. So I've just filled them. I filled them with natural beige. I didn't need to fill it with black because I was going to put a totally new design on. So I just filled them with natural beige just for quickness and ease, really. So on these, we're going to do some full white. We'll do some full black. We're obviously going to do a Nike swoosh, obviously, and we'll do Nike. But obviously, we're going to include the glow in the dark because that is just amazing. And Andrea will be able to look at her nails while she's in bed, glowing. Yeah,
Who she does very often.
Yeah,
And her husband gets a bit spooked sometimes.
because you've had glow in the dark before, haven't you? Yeah.
Yes, I have, yeah. And they do really glow.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, so I'm going to do this, and this full white. This will be full black and possibly this one as well. So I'm going to start by using Snow White and I'll apply a couple of coats of this. Now, this is not a sponsored, I've not been sponsored by Nike to do these nails. I paid hard-earned cash for those trainers. And my mum said, not another pair of trainers. You only have one set of feet, one pair of feet. So why do you need all these trainers? Well, I like a selection. How many pairs of trainers do you think you've got, Ad? Have you got a thing for trainers?
No.
Have you not?
No, I've got like four pairs.
Wow.
One's a running shoe.
Yeah.
2 are just like Plimmies.
Yeah.
And then I've got like a smart pair of trainers. And that's it,
many have you
really.
got?
I just wear things until they're ruined and then I buy new ones. I don't like bother with having a cupboard full.
I would not like to count my trainers. Probably between 30 and 40 pairs.
Wow.
Now, when I play basketball, I used to wear, like when I was younger, I used to
pair
have loads of
Jordans.
pairs. I had a
Love
pair of
Jordans, love them.
I had Jordans. Fila was a big basketball.
Yeah, Fila's really big at the minute as well. The
And
big
we were
chunky
saying earlier on,
Filas,
I
I love
remember, because
them.
that obviously you've got that magnetic mechanism on there.
Yeah.
I remember me Puma discs,
Yes.
which were horrific because they snapped so easily.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
But you twisted
They were
it to,
crap.
you cranked it
And
up, didn't you?
I had Reebok pumps, several pairs.
Oh,
of Reebok
and you
pumps.
pumped, you went,
Yeah.
and it pumped.
It was a waste of time. It was
Yeah,
cushioning,
yeah.
basically.
I know, but they were ace, weren't they?
Yeah.
Everyone loved him.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you
I've
just
got some
pumped them and
pumps,
like and
yeah.
pumping me
But
trainers.
I just liked it because I had a basketball on the front of it, basically. So that was it. That was the only reason.
Trainers are so expensive though nowadays, you know, they really are super expensive. So when I saw those, I literally snatched them off the shelf.
Yeah.
Like, literally went. And I didn't know if they were my size.
You didn't get them from Freeport, did you?
I did get them from
Yeah.
Freeport, yeah.
You know, that's a lot of that stuff, you know, is stuff that doesn't sell in this country but sells in America.
Ah.
That's why you get some different stuff.
Yeah, so we have this outlet in Stoke-on-Trent, which is really cool. And one of the best things about that outlet is they have a whole wall full of discounted football boots, which is amazing because you can get a pair of football boots for the kids for like £7.50. Like,
And the
you know,
good ones as
yeah,
well,
they're
yeah.
good, they're Nike ones,
Yeah.
they're brilliant.
Well, people used to go and fill the trolleys, didn't they, and sell them on.
Yeah, people still do.
Yeah, well, you can't exchange them or anything now.
No, you can't, because I was looking at some goalkeeping gloves for Alicia. They were goalkeeping gloves like I'd never seen in my life. They kind of look like a marigold. And I was like, these are weird. I kind of like them, but I don't know if Alicia will like them.
Yeah.
And they were only 25, but I didn't get them because I couldn't exchange them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cover this nail in Serious Black. That is so black. That's covered so well. I don't actually think I'll need a second coat on there. So just pop me them in the lamp. I'm going to do your thumb now. I didn't do it just because I want you to put it in completely flat. I don't want it to sit on its side. If you're struggling to get that nice, neat cuticle, it could be the fact that maybe your filing isn't quite as neat as could be. Because if there's any sort of lumps and bumps in the acrylic at that cuticle area, it would show up when you put your colour on. So make sure you get that cuticle area nice and smooth, and your application will be a lot smoother as well. Put me that in the lamp. Right, what we're going to do now is I wanted a white base to do my fluorescent colour, because what's this? We haven't got a label for this, and you've probably, if you've watched neon glow in the dark
They
stuff
probably
with
know
us,
what it is
Yeah.
even better than you do.
yeah, because I can't remember what it's called because we lost the label. Hazardous. So that's the glow in the dark yellow, because when it's like a yellowy green when it glows, but I am going to mix it with some white and it will still glow because I've had a little test. I've mixed it and had a little go and it works. So I've got some backing paper from a sculpting form, and we're going to take some of the Hazardous. Can you see how it's got a bit of a green sort of hue to it?
Yeah, when it's a bit thinner at the edges.
Yeah, and that's what we want. We're going to mix some white with that. If you wanted it a little bit more green, you could always add some ectoplasm in. Oh, that's alright, that little bit. Don't mind that little bit.
It's a bit greenier now, isn't it? A bit more
Do you
slimy.
think it's too green?
Before was very similar to the soul, wasn't it?
A bit more yellow.
Bit more yellow, yeah.
Let's have a bit more yellow and a little bit more white. So we get the right colour. Yeah, I'm happy now. So I'm going to take that mixture and paint that on. Because it's going over the white, we can actually paint it on nice and thin. So the white will make it pop a little bit more as well. If you ever want a colour to be brighter, you can always put that white base. Put that in. Second coat, nice and thin again. Pop me that in the lamp. What I'm going to do now is top coat this one, and this one. So I'm still going to work on the white ones, but I want to seal these so there's no dust getting on those nails while I'm working on the other nails. Because dust and gel polish does not mix. So this is the Urban Graffiti top coat. It has no sticky layer. You want to make sure you're capping the nails. We need a little bit of the white, so this is Snow White, onto the backing paper. And then we're going to use base coat. Now because base coat's got a sticky layer, this kind of works a little bit better than top coat.
I don't actually know what you're doing here.
I know you don't.
You haven't explained
I haven't
anything.
a clue. Not a clue. It'll be magic.
All will be revealed. Then we're going to pick up beads, dots. I want you to sort of make them quite irregular. And this will give the illusion of it being that kind of leather print. So if you look at the shoe, it has lovely leather, and I was saying earlier that I love that leather so much, and it's like all crinkly kind of. That makes sense.
Textured.
Yeah, it's textured, so we're going to create a bit of a textured look.
So why the base coat then?
Well, the base coat's got a sticky layer and is slightly thicker than the top coat, and what happens is, I'll show you a close-up once it's cured and you'll see what I mean. Pop me that in the lamp. So you see how the trainer's textured? We want to create that textured look. Just going to wipe over it with gel residue wipe-off solution. Just so I can really show you what I'm talking about. So, can you see how some parts have sunk under the base coat and some have stayed at the top? So can you see we've got 3 different tones of white. So we have the white that we did for the background colour. We've got the white that's sunk underneath the base coat, and then we've got this white that stayed at the top. So we've got that illusion that it's textured. Does that make sense? I'm just going to buff this now. I'm only buffing it really just to make sure it's not lumpy bumpy and it's smooth. And then I'm going to top coat. You could matte top coat this, but Andrea has coloured hair and her nails would become the same colour as her hair if we left it matte. So I'm going to top coat it to seal. Make it nice and shiny. Pop that in. So we're going to repeat this process onto the little pinky finger. So on this one, we're going to do the Nike swoosh. I'm going to buff a little bit because I don't want the gel polish to slide around, because I'm going to use the gel polish to actually paint the swoosh. Right, so we're going to paint this swoosh. I'm going to hold you on your side, if that's all right. So we'll start with the thick end. I'm going to do a second coat just to make it super white. This is the easy part, really. I mean, it's not a complicated shape. Alright, I'm going to top coat that and then we will move on. Pop me that in. Right, so on this one, I'm going to write Nike, just so it really pops. We're going to do it in black so it really flows and it makes the whole thing pop. And then when you go to bed and it glows, you'll see Nike glowing.
Yeah.
Because it'll block it out,
Yeah.
see what I mean?
Might make me want to get up and go for a run.
Yeah. So let's just mat this off. I'm going to use Serious Black. Let's get a bit of Serious Black. So I'm just perfecting it, so I've got the majority of it done, and then I can go in with the Serious Black gel polish, just neaten the little parts of it up, perfect it. Let's top coat this now. Oh, I bet you can't wait. Go bed and watch that glow.
See if I can read the Nike in the night. I need to send you a picture.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to phone you.
FaceTime me.
Yeah,
So
FaceTime you, yeah.
a picture's fine. Or even a video.
Yeah.
Just not a FaceTime.
Not FaceTime.
Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do Adam's idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going to put air on here. In glow in the dark. So let's get it. Like, oh, look at that, how pretty. Can you remember when we did them nails? Oh, I'm just going to do it thin at first. So now we're going to go over this with a second coat, and that will also perfect everything. Just pop me that in and I'll do the lines after. So I'm just going to put top coat on. This is the Urban Graffiti top coat. I want these nails.
They're pretty cool, aren't they?
Yeah, we'll take a nice picture with the trainers.
Yeah.
Pop me that in the lamp. Just need a pair of those Nikes. Night utilities now.
I do.
Size are you?
6.
Ah, you can't have them. No, size 5 in mine.
I'd have to cut my toes off.
Yeah. Oh, it's optional.
File my toes down.
Yeah. Let's put you
Pinching
some.
too long.
Yeah. Let's put some cuticle oil on to finish off. They're a bit of fun, aren't they? Then, bit of fun.
Yeah. Why not? I think they're pretty cool, actually. I
Yeah.
like them colours because I like. If I was having Nikes, I would have them in that colour.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it always reminds me of summer.
Really?
That greeny colour. reminds
Yeah.
me of summer.
That greeny yellow. Love them. There you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you love my trainers as much as I do. And I just wanted to share my trainers with you and the love that I have for them. Everything I've used today will be listed below. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. So we're gonna throw that in my hair. Do a set of nails inspired by my beautiful new trainers.
Who, Andrea?
I know, yeah.
Really, I want them on me, but Andrea's having them
Do you
today.
want me to do yours?
Yeah.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on.
I don't know. Something's just stabbed me.
I think
I've knocked it, sorry. Sorry, only a little tiny bit. Sorry.
I'm gonna kill
I
you.
know. I am poorly.
Look at me all. Oh, my arm's messed up.
you're messed up. Did you
My
say that?
arm.